This is the story of a cat who became a hero.
Through the years, I have been known by many names. Diablo Gato. Chupacabra.
Chupacabra! You're a crazy woman!
The furry lover. Frisky 2 times. And the ginger hitman. But to most, I am Puss in Boots.
That's a lot of heel for a guy, don't you think?
Do not worry, I will protect you.
And who's gonna protect you?
Kitty's skill, your sword, and my brain. We've got a fighting chance here.
You do not want to make the cat angry.
About 4 years ago, the studio had been very interested in looking at some of the franchise characters to see, which one deserved a story of their own, and the easy answer was Puss in Boots.
I am but a humble gato in search of his next meal.
The only thing you'll find tonight is trouble. Puss in Boots.
This character deserved his own story and an origin story, and Puss in Boots made such a splash in the Shrek universe that it was just sort of undeniable that this guy needed his own tale to be told.
What can I say? I was a bad kitty.
Puss in Boots is played by Antonio Banderas. Or is Antonio Banderas played by Puss in Boots? I don't know. Sometimes it's hard to tell the two of them apart, but one thing's for sure, one could not exist without the other.
Holy frijoles. They do exist.
For me, there's so many things. It's a romantic character. You get a sense of honor and loyalty, friendship, and at the same time, you get this touch of being a little bit mischievous that I think it just adds him an edge that is interesting in a character like this.
How strange it was to give a cat boots. But wow, I look good.
The voice that Antonio has chosen for that cat blows my mind. This tiny little creature that you would think a squeaky sound would come out of. It's like a forest full of redwoods, delivering Puss's language.
See, I can commit.
Oh, you can talk.
It's very important, the eye thing, because then they can copy that.
Antonio is just a natural in terms of comedic timing, and Puss, just everything he does, just his size, the machismo, the sort of overly dramatic moments that he brings to the table is comedy gold.
It is crazy.
And I think the fact that we played him as a cat at times just created a lot of very comedic situations.
Catnip. It is for my glaucoma.
For me, actually, the character is a dichotomy, and that's what makes him funny, is the difference then between what he is physically, very little animal, with a great voice that contradicts completely that body. And in that is where the comedy is.
Very well. If it is to be a dance fight, then I will Tuesday night dance fight you to the death.
If we're gonna have Puss in Boots, his backstory always included having a history with the ladies. We had to create a character that was worthy of Puss in Boots. And so we created Kitty Softpaws. And, we immediately thought of Salma Hayek.
I'm called Kitty Softpaws because I'll steal you blind and you'll never even know I was there.
Whoa.
I play Kitty Softpaws. It's hard to keep a straight face when I say her name. I love her name. You hit me in the head with a guitar?
You're a woman?
Salma, we knew that she was, sultry, she's got a great voice, but she's actually really amazing with comedy, and she's very, very witty. And she brought a lot of her own attributes to the character, which for us was great, because there's something really special about a female character who knows what she wants.
Just think of all the trouble we can get into.
It's great. The relationship that she has with Puss, Antonio, feels really authentic.
Hey!
I'm awake.
And it's a really great romantic relationship. There's a lot of tension there. And you could tell that Antonio and Salma, they must be good friends because they fight really well together.
Don't worry. I'll take care of it. I know how to speak meow.
You are dangerous.
We've been working together for a long time. We've done many movies together. And I know him so well by now that when I was doing the recordings, even though he was not in the room, I sort of could hear him like a ghost saying the other lines. I could know exactly what that cat would sound like if he was saying those lines.
Again with the mask.
I don't need style advice from Mr. Dusty Boots.
Humpty Alexander Dumpty is played by Zach Galifianakis. Incredibly funny, extemporaneous, with his comedy and really sharp wit, really appealing.
I betrayed you. You left me cracked in pieces on a bridge, surrounded by soldiers. They wrote a song about it?
Animation is something I've never done. It's kind of fun. It's an interesting thing to do, to go in there by yourself, isolated with a director, and try to figure out in your head what the image is going to look like.
Puss, you got any idea what they do to eggs in San Ricardo prison?
I'll tell you this, my friend. It ain't over easy.
Chris Miller let me be all over the place because the character is all over the place, and that is a lot of fun to do. I find I'm kind of maybe a quiet person, but to come in here and kind of scream and yell and get that out is a lot of fun.
We go up the Beanstalk Outlaws, and we come down legends.
Zach, we knew, was hilarious. What he brought to the character of Humpty Dumpty was a vulnerability and a childlike sweetness that really made the villain multi-dimensional, because you empathize with him, and that was important to us. We didn't want him to be a black and white villain. We wanted people to like him, and because Zach made himself so vulnerable, that's what we got at the end of the day.
Okay, yeah, have fun with that.
Do I feel more fragile now that I've played an egg? I feel more scrambled.
Should scramble you with onions.
Jack and Jill are played by Billy Bob Thornton and Amy Sedaris, and they're our notorious outlaws who you definitely don't want to mess with.
You were looking for something?
We didn't want to have the villain, who is Humpty Dumpty, be the obvious villain. So we created Jack and Jill as the characters. We decided to use them as two brooding, mean, but yet very funny characters.
Is it true a cat always lands on its feet?
No! That is just a rumor spread by dogs!
Amy is just a great comedian. And so as we were looking for the Jill character, we knew that Amy would come up with something really interesting and fun to play off of Jack's deep-seated, vicious voice. And she came up with sort of a countrified, southern voice that is hilarious.
I'll be the stay-at-home dad.
We got 10 hungry piggies there in the back. You can practice on them. Just pull over.
Billy Bob, his voice is just awesome. And we wanted Jack to be strong, mean, vicious, and during our development period with that character, everyone just had this very deep-pitched voice, a little bit like Billy Bob in Sling Blade. And so when we went to cast this role, we immediately went and thought about Billy Bob.
I hate cats.
That's not what your mama said.
I was kind of directed, so well to how to do this that I essentially didn't have to do much. The only thing that I had to do with my voice was, I weigh 145 pounds, and this guy weighs like 300 pounds or something, so I just had to, I don't know if this makes any sense or not, but I had to sound a little fatter.
I do believe that's our cue.
It was actually kind of an honor, to be asked to be a part of it.
I think you just call me Daddy.
Oh, he looks just like you, Jack.
Thank you.
It's got great action, great animation, well-rounded characters, rich characters, and you feel the danger, the suspense, and the humor all the way through.
He's alive!
I'm still trying to figure out how they do this stuff, frankly. It astounds me.
Cheers!
He was a supporting actor and now he's a star. Excuse me very much. He got his own movie. That is actually beautiful.
Wow. You made the cat angry.
On guard!
All that I need are the boots. I can see myself in that cat on the screen, which is a freaky experience, I may say.